Man, I'm very excited for next episode. For you
Yeah.
to take control again.
All right. We should be live now.
Yeah, I'm assuming we
Yeah.
are. I'm just gonna look, but yeah, we're live. We're live.
Okay. Welcome everybody. Welcome on back to another fine episode of BatYard's Finest. Here where we discuss everything Batman, Superman, pop culture, and more. Today I'm greeted by these two cool guys as my co-hosts.
What's up?
Hi, I'm Josh from Metropolis, and we're here. we're here.
And I'm Mateo from Gotham. How you guys doing? I'm trying to brighten up the scene over here with my wine share of Godzilla.
You're trying to brighten up the scene
Of Gotham? Yeah, fuck yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean,
I was about to say.
It's dark and gloomy. It's been raining for 3 days. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's been pretty bad. I don't know how we're gonna favor this weekend. So
Godspeed.
I know. Yeah, I know. I know. There's a pretty big segment of BSBS that we're gonna discuss with the new movie, but
Huge.
yeah, I don't know if you guys had anything you wanted to mention before that.
I saw some like stupid little bullshit. That what's it called? They just started Aquaman 2's filming. And
right,
Jason Momoa just decided now after 3 movies, right? It has been 3 movies now with him, or just 2?
Aquaman 2 would make 3.
Okay, so 2 movies. He's finally gonna go blonde. So everyone's freaking out because he's going to finally just jump the gun and change his hair now.
He's blind now.
He's going to jump the gun for blonde for the movie.
Jesus
It's
Christ.
super late to change everything up. It is dumb news. But I just wanted to state that Aquaman 2 is in production.
Well,
now.
maybe he's gonna spend more time in the sun, so that's why he's getting his blonde hairs.
It makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Speaking of fishmen, I saw the new Disney Plus Luca the other week, and I actually the Pixar movie. I thought I enjoyed it a lot. I mean, it was very simple story. It's just like these 2 Italian fish boys wanting to come to the surface. It's basically like The Little Mermaid, but they're friends. That's kind of like the plot of it. But I liked how it was like pretty simple, and they changed up the animation a little bit for Pixar. It was like they're more rounded like shapes, They and it was very simple story. I think they're trying to do like a Miyazaki kind of vibe with it. But I recommend it. It wasn't like the greatest Pixar movie, but I haven't really seen much of the later ones. I seen Soul, which I like that, and I seen this, and then I haven't seen The Good Dinosaur or any of that stuff. But Pixar has been kind of hit and miss lately. Tropical Crispy.
Yeah, great.
I just have one small thing from BSBS. I just saw the first trailer for Don't Breathe 2 coming out on August 13th.
Breathe.
Is that with the old man thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what the
When he's
old
like
blind guy.
Yeah. I never watched that movie actually.
I haven't either.
I heard it's nuts.
It's
and
super nuts. In fact,
Like, I heard you just wreck shit. Everything just gets wrecked.
Yeah. I know what I'm going to make you 2 watch now.
Oh no! Wait, the first one or the second one? I don't know.
The first one.
Are we watching both now?
I'd be curious to watch it. I'm not against it.
Like I don't know what triggers him in that movie. I just know he just destroys everybody.
I know he's like a military guy, and then these people are trying to rob him, right? And then like they find out he's blind, but he's like he's fucked. That's all. Like, He has some dungeon or something. I don't know.
Josh, you want to take it away with the bigger segment of BSBS?
Oh man. Okay, so this was my idea, so I guess you guys can blame me. But I was thinking we should. The new movie Space Jam 2 just came out, and I decided that we should probably watch this to be more current and what's going on. And I was actually curious to see this movie. Space Jam 2 is about LeBron James trying to reconnect with his son, and he goes to Warner Brothers for them to sell their products to LeBron James, and then he ends up getting sucked into an AI computer and to play basketball to get his freedom again. It's basically the same movie, but not as charming as the first one. I don't know how you guys feel about it.
I hate it.
I don't know. I want to hear what Matt thinks about it because it seems like you have the stronger opinion.
All of us. How many of us watch basketball? First of all,
I do here and there.
Yeah.
Okay, Josh, do you watch the basketball?
I know. I mean, like I'll watch a game, like if it's on, but I won't
So
actively.
Technically, we're not haters of LeBron James due to basketball.
That's not what we're saying.
Or anything, right?
Right.
No,
It's on the merit of the
saying.
movie.
So due to that, we prefer his how he is as a player and everything. I'm going in as I didn't like the parts when LeBron James does some of his acting spots. I liked him more at the end when he's more concentrated on the game and he's doing all that stuff. But him actually just saying some lines didn't feel right because he just felt like he was just scared to say it, or he was forcing to say some of the lines that didn't work right.
Yeah, his
But everything else I enjoyed was the Looney Tunes, what's it called? The other actors, I enjoyed them more. The LeBron's doing his things. I kind of like the montage they had. Wait, what, Josh?
Don Cheadle, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Is that what the AI guy you're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hated him.
His stuff was awesome and everything. But it's just whenever it was just LeBron's by himself and trying to interact with other actors before meeting Looney Tunes, it just felt not right to me.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. It just wasted too much time with developing the characters of LeBron James and his kids, which is the stuff I cared about the least, and it's how long is it? An hour into the movie until we actually get the basketball game. It's it just drags on a little, too long. This movie only needed to be an hour and a half, and it's over 2.5, 2 hours. I don't even know how long it is. It's over 2 hours. It's too long for what it is, but they should have just cut down the fat and made it a little more simple. Matt, you're frozen. You're not even moving. Oh, you're gone. Bye, Matt. All right, Jerry, what did you think?
I hated it.
Oh,
I'm gonna keep it simple. I absolutely hated it. There was nothing redeeming. John Cheadle looked like a creepy stalker. LeBron James should have took those acting lessons.
Okay.
Where was Pepe Le Pew?
Pepe Le Pew was there.
Yeah,
I know where he was.
He was there,
but you can't call this Looney Tunes. I'm watching this movie and I'm literally thinking to myself, this is Jumanji meets Ready Player One, and it's just failing poorly.
Yeah, it was
the
definitely
the thing is with this movie, like Josh said, it was too freaking long. First of all, the original movie is about an hour and 25 minutes long.
It's under an hour and a half,
so
around
an hour and a half. Perfect, and it's perfect to give you A quick adding everyone's characters in play and just jumping right into the Looney. And like Josh said, it took too long and we focused on nothing. They did 2 of the same jokes in one shot with the basketball hitting the sun in the head. And it was kind of dumb. And LeBron's like, "Ooh, I love meatballs."
Oh, and
that was stupid as hell.
Yeah.
What did I say? The movie was literally a copy of the first movie, but they twisted it so that in the first movie, Michael Jordan's getting told by his father, if you keep trying your best, you'll get places. Where do you want to be in the future? The son, the Michael's like, I want to be here. I want to do this. I want to be that way. And the father's really supportive. And in this movie, LeBron James is just a dick. And he's like, you can't be a video game guy. I want you to be a basketball guy. And that's what you're going to freaking do, and that's where you're going to like it. That's how the road is. They made him look like a bad dad and sent it down the path of now he lost his son. And at the end, he realizes shit. Yeah. It's a stupid realization movie that shouldn't be that way. It should be that, it should have been a totally different setup. They just didn't, without the original, they used the same template as the original one and just twisted the story up that, yes, it's been a few years since the first movie, and everybody's been scattered to these different universes because everyone needed to use the Loonies in a different way. But if you notice at the front, the title, the movie, where LeBron James is a child is 1998,
96.
2 years after the first movie. So technically, they're just that's how they're trying to make the connection a little bit to this. So they have the 2-year gap.
That's what bothered me the most was there was no connection to the first movie at all. They kind of teased the first movie. I had to rewind it. So when Warner Brothers selling their when Warner Brothers trying to sell their corporate products to LeBron James, we produce all these great movies, and they're showing the screenshot of all the Warner Brothers movies. I rewinded. I was just curious what movies they're showing. Fucking Space Jam. What the first Space Jam was one of the movies that they showed. So I'm like, in universe, Space Jam is just a movie as well. What is the connection there? So there was no connection. There's it should have just been the Monstars again. Getting revenge.
But the Monstars were there.
Yeah, they were there for fucking 2 seconds for one clip. And it was
they're pissed because they're losing. Well, the other team was losing because they want everyone to die still from the first movie.
Yeah, so that was just a little weird that it was just there was no connection to the first movie really at all. And that joke, I kind of liked that joke when they had Michael B. Jordan. It was just
I enjoyed it too.
It was a little too long for the joke to hit. It should have just been one quick thing, and then they should have just moved on.
I know, but they wanted that build up for it to be oh, it's him. Oh my god, then no. That's how I wanted it.
Just the stuff when they get to the basketball court, I was actually enjoying that. But all the stuff in the beginning, I would just fast forward all that stuff until LeBron.
I enjoyed
Bugs Bunny.
I hated the basketball match the most.
Oh really? Oh my god!
The whole fucking movie is just Warner Brothers showing off. We own this. We own this. Here's Pennywise, the eater of children.
Oh my god!
Cheering in a basketball game. What?
Yeah, I don't know why he was there and why they had all those corporate showings. It should have just been how they did the first movie. It was just Looney Tunes watching the game. It was just the crowd was filled with other tunes.
They had to go big, man. The AI unit had a beef with LeBron James. He had to be the next king. All that stupid shit.
Yeah, it was just Warner Brothers sucking its own dick, basically. And it was there's just corporate products throughout the whole thing. Even when LeBron James enters Looney Tune world and he makes a crater, it's a freaking Nike symbol. I'm is that necessary? Wouldn't it be more likely if it was a basketball instead of a freaking Nike symbol? Wouldn't that make more sense?
Mm-hmm. Or just a standalone crater. Standalone creator.
Or have them fall in the tree.
Yeah, it was just obviously like they like produce like so many products for this movie too. Like just watching all the merchandising, like I was like just scrolling through the internet, scrolling on Instagram or Facebook, you see all this merchandising. Like they're plugging the hell out of this movie. The one thing I do want to say about it, like I would watch it again. I actually enjoyed it more than I thought I would. Like I thought I would actually hate it. I thought I was going to hate it more than everyone on this panel. I feel like I liked it the most. It was bad. The first movie's not good either, but the first movie has that charm, and it has like that just that enterprise and that inertia of just Michael Jordan. Like Michael Jordan was like the guy, he was the all-star guy. Like this movie made me hate LeBron James even more. Like I don't really know much about basketball. I don't really follow him, but like it's just like they're like showing in the beginning, like, oh, look how great LeBron James is. He's the greatest. He's the king. And that stuff actually made me dislike them. It did the opposite of what they wanted to achieve. And like in the other movie, they're like making fun of Michael Jordan. They're like, like, oh, you suck at baseball, you're bald. Like he was like more of a joke. But like just how great of a talent he was at basketball. They're like, oh, we need you on our team, but we'll call you Baldy. So it was just like the whole movie in the beginning was just, oh, LeBron James is the greatest of all time. And that stuff got pretty old pretty quick.
It really did. It was not the best. Like you're saying, like how they did make fun of Michael Jordan, the other one. And Michael Jordan, like, kind of had, like, to gain the Loonies kind of respect in a way. Instead of, like, the other, like, LeBron's is just, like, yelling at them to just follow him around because he's like, Bugs wanted you guys, but I wanted these guys, so I had to deal with you. Not that you had to deal with me. I had to deal with you guys. And I don't know. It just kind of rubbed me wrong with the whole setup. And like the only part I enjoyed mostly, like other than the basketball game, was when they're retrieving. I didn't really even enjoy all that. It was only like 2 segments. It was just like when was it Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner were and Mad Max. I was like, this is cool. Perfect for them. Yeah. That's great. And then the other one was when Granny and Speedy Gonzalez were in the Matrix. But I didn't care about Granny. I just saw Speedy Gonzalez doing his thing. Yeah. And I was like that one. I can't. I've been waiting for this shit.
Granny was okay. What ruined it were Granny was once they like all the Tunes had their special abilities. Like Tasmanian Devil was able to spin so fast that he twisted the basketball court and then they scored on their own, on their own basket. So that was interesting. I liked how they utilized the Looney Tunes powers in that way. Obviously Roadrunner's really fast, so he was running. Yeah. But like Granny
brought his machines.
Yeah, he brought his machines. But like when Granny comes on, it's not like she has a special ability. Her special ability was, she was in the Matrix for that one scene. That's her ability now. She's a Matrix person. And that was kind of annoying. I was like, okay, like that was
like I said, I was telling you beforehand from watching like the trailers and stuff. I'm like, I don't like where they're going with Granny. It's kind of getting stupid and all that stuff. I'm like, it's not gonna be how Granny was. So they're going to just wing it with Granny because they're not using the proper Loonies.
I liked what they did with the first movie with Granny. They barely used her. The only time they used her.
Well, it was the proper way of using her.
Yeah, she's sitting on the sideline, and then they pass her the ball, and then fucking all the Monstars are like dogpiling on Granny, and then that's the only time.
How often do we see Granny do anything in any of the Looney Tunes, though? How often do we see that lady do anything?
You don't. You don't need
the first movie, see her, uses her the proper way.
Exactly.
The second movie, there's like, well, what else do we have left? And then
Yeah.
just winged it.
Yeah, we got rid of Pepe Le Pew, so we need to put someone else in there.
They're trying to force
Pepe,
the
we
Matrix
need you.
4 down our throat. That's what it is.
I'm surprised they had the hairy guy as like one of the main Looney Tunes. Like,
he's
he's
not
like one of
supposed
the
to be
more.
there.
He's not one of the more iconic Looney Tunes. He's just kind of like you know him from that one scene with Bugs Bunny giving him a haircut. You know, he's not one of
but in the first movie, he was in the behind the scenes. He was at the court watching the game.
Yeah, he was just in the audience.
He was just an audience member, and then this one's just like they don't even show him really. I don't remember him even getting selected into the basketball crew.
No. Well, in this movie, they just like show them one by one. That was like the fun stuff, like Matt was saying, like when they're recruiting the different Looney Tunes and they're in different realms. You know, I like even Lola. Like they're like, oh, we need like one real basketball player, and she's like in comic book world of Wonder Woman, the Mascara Island. You know, she's doing all these training montage. Well, you know, she's doing the big cup to become an Amazon warrior, and that was like kind of neat. But like, I was like, weren't they already at DC World? So like, where are they now? They're in the comic book DC World and not the animated one. And I was like, it kind of threw me off.
They were out of ideas when they made this movie.
They're digging at the barrel for some reason, even though they have like a stock load of shit they can use in a warehouse. But they're just grabbing this one barrel they've been reaching at for the last couple of years and just said, we got whatever's at the bottom here.
Yeah,
but I did enjoy them using when they got Daffy and Porky the Pig. When they got them from the DC animated universe, with they had it was the animated Superman shit. That was pretty cool. It wasn't like the newer. It was more. They were trying to stay to the old age, but at the same time, it was still new based, like drawing wise.
Well,
I kind of liked it.
They used like the Bruce Timm animation style when they went to.
But it was like up to date artwork because do that the movie shit. But
yeah, I do want to mention that part. So that part was kind of bullshit too. I like that part. But it was okay.
That was so bad. I like it. I don't like it, but I love it.
No, but they're in that scene. They're on the train, right? They're trying to stop Daffy Duck. You know, he's broadcasting to the rest of the DC world, like, oh, he could be one of the Justice League members. You know, he's trying to stop the train. And he breaks the train, and they keep accelerating forward. Fucking, they pass Clark Kent and Jimmy Olsen. They just like stand there, and I'm like, you know what, Superman, this is your fucking fault. You could have just stopped it right there, and then like. They're going through like the whole DC universe. They're going through Gotham. You know, they start in Metropolis, then they go to Gotham, then they go to Atlantis, then they go whatever the hell. But I'm like, the first stop, they're in Metropolis. They literally pass Clark Kent. You see him, and I'm like, you could have stopped him. You know, so it's your fault. You waited too long, Superman. That's your fault. That all DC universe is destroyed by this train. And I did like that scene where they're like all looking at him like, oh, all right, Superman's out, you know, Batman's out. You know, I enjoyed that part, like those little bits.
Yeah,
where
because
like,
they fucked up everything.
Off. Yeah.
Batman was being Donald was being freaking Bat Duck. No, Super Duck. So that ruins everything. Then freaking LeBron James is being Robin and Bugs Bunny's being Batman. They didn't do any saving. They just screamed and hoped no one died. But like, it doesn't make it. The thing is, like, they ran through all those cities just to get to Metropolis again.
Yeah.
To crash. Wouldn't you think they'll loop by Superman one more time because they just went by everything?
They passed Superman and Jimmy Olsen, so Superman had more than enough.
Well, that was in the beginning. But I'm saying, like, they went through all those like cities. I would say they would loop back around again, and then he could have stopped them then.
No, he had like 5.
Metropolis is that freaking huge.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay,
but I did like when they're showing like their reactions in the train, and then like behind them you see Alfred and Lois Lane. Like, it was like neat to see those little cameos, like those local cameos. I did enjoy that part. So T-Pillow says. They're trying to appeal to an older generation while trying to entertain the younger audience. If they would give us an accurate continuity, they would probably succeed in getting the older generation more into it. Yeah, I agree with that.
That's true.
Agree with that.
Continuity with the first one. I guess it does make sense if you're trying to do it with kids and like if kids haven't seen the first one, you don't. But I feel like there's a way to do it without like needing to see the first one because it's not like the first one's that complicated. It's not that complicated of a movie.
You can watch it on YouTube movies.
Yeah, no, it's on HBO Max for free right now. So
yeah, I actually watched the first Space Jam, maybe a month ago, not that long.
This
ago.
movie made me go find it.
Yeah, I have it on Blu-ray. I bought it on Blu-ray. Like, and it has like the commentary with Daffy Duck and Bugs Bunny for some reason. So.
Oh god, that's great.
I was watching it. When that Michael Jordan? Did you see that Michael Jordan documentary on Netflix?
I haven't got to see it yet.
I really recommend that. Like, I'm not even that big of a basketball fan, but that was really cool. It's like a few parts. Oh, I forget what it's called. But I was watching that and I was like, oh man, I wanted more. Like after I was watching it, so I just put on Space Jam.
Did he say anything about doing the movie?
Yeah, they talk about when he's like filming the movie, and they literally got a basketball court on the Warner Brothers lot for Michael Jordan to train for his big
okay
games. Like it was basically like that. Then
so they didn't
games, and that was the year when he came back from playing baseball. So like that was like his big comeback. Was at the same time he comes back from playing baseball. Was the same time like Space Jam came out. So like that's why it was like such a huge deal. Like Michael Jordan was out for at least a season, and then he comes back. Fucking Space Jam comes out. Everyone's like already amped that MJ's back, and then like Space Jam's there, and like they're all like fueling the fire. They're like, oh yeah, fucking.
So the ending,
Jordan.
So the ending of the first movie could have been actually filmed when he was returning in Bay.
Yeah, so
that wasn't just old stock footage.
That's real. Yeah, so
it's all real shit.
We get to thank Bugs Bunny for bringing back Michael Jordan because. If that's not a shitty writing, that's actually what happened. He actually left basketball to play baseball. And we get to thank the Looney Tunes for that. So if the Monstars didn't try to take the Looney Tunes,
he wouldn't have got
Michael Jordan back. Yeah. And that's the other thing that was kind of off about this movie. Like there was no stakes for the Looney Tunes.
D20 to decide on the next shit movie to put out. That's great. That's great. Oh man, it's true.
I got it. Okay. Well, now I forget what the fuck I was saying.
I'm sorry. We're talking about how Michael Jordan came back because bugs.
No, that was never mind. We'll come back to me. You derailed me, Matt.
I'm sorry.
It was
because we were talking about it, but but that was pretty neat that Warner Brothers actually got him a basketball court to actually encourage him to start practicing and getting back into shape again. Other than this one, just felt like they didn't care about anybody. It just let's just make a fucking movie. That's all it felt like.
Oh, that's what I was saying. There's no stakes for the Looney Tunes in this movie. Like in the beginning,
it happens at the end.
Yeah, I know it happens at the end. Like in the beginning, it's like LeBron. He's like, "Oh, I need to help my kid," and then the Looney Tunes, they don't give a shit. They wouldn't care. They go all right, well, have fun.
It was
thank you for collecting.
But I guess so. It's like an excuse to get Bugs to get the gang back together. What were you saying, Jerry?
I said it was so stupid. They could have saved everybody's time and money by not making this.
Yes, but that they executed it with a better story wise and figured out a solution of why the Looney Tunes needed to get LeBron James. I would say it would have been a better movie. I'm just I'm really
the opposite
fishing for it.
Yeah,
it's just
LeBron
Like I said,
I would
it's
have liked
the
if
original.
Monstars came back.
Yeah, that's
Maybe
Oh
like
my
their kids or
God.
something.
Bigger and better. Holy shit!
It should have been like Danny DeVito. Like he was pissed off that they shot him off in a rocket, and he's like, "Oh,
Yeah.
I'm getting my fucking revenge. I'm making a new amusement park that's going to be bigger planet." And like, that kind of
God!
shit. Some ridiculous.
I'll
shit.
show you guys for
We
shooting me
need
off
Danny
in this rocket.
DeVito back. We need Danny DeVito back.
I would say Danny DeVito would probably be happy to freaking like come back for this movie. But at the same point
of course.
is like the thing is it'd be funny because they get LeBron James. He wants revenge against Michael Jordan. He'd be like, "Who the hell are you? You're not the guy that shot me off in that rocket." And then all hell will be breaking loose, and they'll have to go find Michael Jordan to save their asses even more. But I would say out of like any other basketball, if I would like to just redo the whole cast of this, I would win with Kobe if he didn't pass away just recently.
Yeah, Kobe would have been cool.
Just later, yeah, I would rather prefer him because he just felt more like the newer Michael Jordan at the time.
Yeah, he was like more under Michael Jordan's wing for sure.
Yeah, it
Like,
would have
he
felt
showed him.
so much better.
Yeah, no, I agree. I feel like I like this movie more than you guys. You know what I like? You know what?
I had to go
I
watch the
hated
original
this.
movie afterwards.
What?
I hated this movie more than Kiss meets Phantom of the Park.
Oh no! Oh no!
I didn't think it'd be possible.
I had to
I was
rewatch
wrong.
the first one. I had to.
I like pretty recently, so it was pretty fresh in my head.
So like I was rewatching the first one to desanitize me to whatever the fuck I just watched, to make my mind at ease, so I can think clearly.
Like when the basketball game was happening, I was really enjoying it, and then that Porky Pig rap came out of nowhere. I was like, "Why? What does this have to do with anything? Why is this in the movie?" And then I was like cringing. I was like, "Oh, why? Why are you showing me this? Why is this happening? Why did they do that?"
T-Pillow just wrote to us, "How would you feel about a Space Jam TV show? I would think it would be one season long, and if they try to go further than that, it would be just reaching.
Yeah,
I would say 5 episodes tops. I would take 5 episodes.
I would give Matt that if they did it at all, I would say one season if they like switched like famous basketball players, maybe like they switched
Every episode, different solution.
Yeah, every episode it was a different basketball player, like a famous.
Yes, different solution that basketball player can help them with.
Yeah,
Make it 3 episodes, an hour long. That's it.
Yeah, you know what I heard?
That works.
That like back in the early 2000s that they were gonna make fucking what was it called? Skate Jam with Tony Hawk. I heard him talking about it once. He was like, "It's like, yeah, Warner Brothers contacted me to make Skate Jam," and I don't know why it didn't go in fruition, but I kind of wish that happened.
I'm glad that didn't happen.
Yeah, that'd been actually terrifying.
That been awesome. If it was like fucking hate, like what Tony Hawk in his prime, and they did fucking Skate Jam, I think that would have been pretty rad. That would have been like they would have done like fucking crazy Looney Tunes.
Fuck it, just bring Jackass in play.
Yeah,
freaking Jackass meets Looney Tunes. They all be flowing right with each other.
They could do Skate Jam, and then the next, what was it? Skate Jam. Oh man, and then they could do, I don't know. I would say Skate Jam again. They could do Wayne Gretzky for one. You know, they could play.
I think we're reaching with this segment. I think we need to jump to the next.
I think it's time to go ahead and drop this.
We gotta get out of this.
All right. Well,
I can see a Mario Party type thing with different sports. Players have to do outrageous challenges.
Yeah,
Oh,
he likes skate jam.
So it's like
T-Pillow, we're trying to get out of this.
We need
Stop entertaining
jam.
us.
No.
We need skate jam in our lives. I think that would have been cool. But anyway, okay. Take it away, Jerry.
So for the short, we watched Assy McGee Showdown in Magic City. And Josh.
Oh no.
Did you watch the right one? Tell me you watched the right one.
I think so.
All right, let's see what fucking happens. Because we watched both of them.
I watched the one with the ass cheek face man.
That's the right show, but there's 2 episodes that we both watched.
So
hopefully it's the right one.
Assy McGee is, he's a police officer who works in the streets. I want to assume he's in New York City. He works in the streets of New York. I like the opening intro with the music. That was pretty cool. And he rides with his partner down to Miami. I don't even know what they're trying to do. They're trying to do some drug bust or something. And his partner, they end up going to Miami pool. They're looking for evidence, and then Assy's fart in the pool, and his partner
gets.
Was that piss? It looks like
piss.
blood.
Because
it looks like blood or shit.
No, because pools now have the dye for urine. So if someone pisses in the pool, the cloud comes out. It's like an ink spot. So he made it blood.
All right. Well,
okay.
he has a bloody shit in the pool, and then his partner gets kidnapped, and he's trying to find his partner, and fuck, he's looking for him, and then he goes to where the drug lords are, and they have him fucking. They have him tied up, and his mustache is ripped off. They ripped his fucking mustache off, so he's all gangrene, and he has a mustache made out of flies. And then the Miami fucking drug guys, they come out and start blazing up the place, shooting, and Assy shoots the guys, and then they run away on the scooter. And he goes on a scooter, and then the leader guy, he's like, I'm gonna get you back, Assy. And then Assy throws a cigarette on the ground with there's gasoline, and then he blows up. And then that's the show. Did I do that right? I don't even know how accurate I was. Well, yeah, that was the show.
Oh my god! I wish you'd watched the wrong one, but at the same time, you did watch the right one.
Like, how the fuck can you say? What else could you say? It's an ass cheek. Guys, an ass face.
He's all legs and ass. Oh,
yeah, that's what I want to know. Okay, so he walks backwards. Like your ass is on the back, right? So like,
yeah,
it's his heel. And then his toe. So, like, his heel goes first, and then his toe. What's on the other side of his ass? Is there a dick and balls, or is it just like...
You never know. You never know.
There is.
Because in the episode... Okay, in the second episode that we watched is about the spelling bee. And the spelling bee... No, it was...
Do one.
No.
You watched the right one.
Yeah, but you watched the right one. But me and Jerry... had issues because they did like iTunes and Google and IMDb all mixed everything up.
Which one are we watching? I was like,
so we watched.
I started to watch like 3 episodes. It was like, all right, Jerry, what the fuck episode am I watching? Yeah. And you're like, episode 7. So then I was like, all right, there's only 6 episodes in season 1. So I'm like, all right, episode 7 might be the first episode in season 2.
No. But hold on. So let me get back to the thing to help you out that situation. So in the other episode, they are trying to figure out some other issue. And they meet up with the health ed teacher. And the health ed teacher is a little foxy for Assy McGee. So you just see his little tie, and he wears around his neck in front of his ass start raising up. So you know it's in the front where his ass is. So everything is just there in front of him. Nothing's on the back. Nothing.
He also said that he would give the sex ed teacher a 4.5 extra inches.
There, yep.
Oh my gosh.
So let me provide a little more context.
Yeah, help us out.
This was not the episode I wanted to do. I wanted to do Ralph Baschini. Ralph, I'm gonna just call him Ralph, director Ralph B. I wanted to do the episode of Spider-Man Double Identity, but the website I went on was advertising a whole lot of MILFs and anime porn. So I'm like, I don't need this.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So Assy McGee is just a horny cop who, by some ungrateful grace of God, manages to get his task done every time. And so
he's in New York, right? Like I wasn't wrong.
Yes, he's in New York. Yeah.
Okay.
The funny thing is, I love that they gave him, because his mouth is an asshole. They gave him that muffled voice, but it just sounds like Sylvester Stallone the whole time. It just sounds horrible.
And yes, every time he does talk, he is farting.
Yes.
So like, taste buds, eyes, nose, they're all the asshole and ass cheek. And then I don't know how the fuck he picks up shit with his ass cheeks.
It's nothing. No, he doesn't even pick up his ass cheeks. It's all invisible arms. Everything is invisible arms. And it's like,
but he
just like,
so the whole premise of this episode was Assy and Sanchez going down, like Josh said, to Miami, bust up a drug ring. But then Assy got distracted by some fine looking women. He was like, Sanchez, come over here, Sanchez. That's a fine bitch over here.
That's pretty good.
And so they get over there, and Sanchez is harassed by the dudes selling and starting up the drug ring. And so, they beat him up, tie him up so he can die and everything. And that's when Assy's like, he's talking to a random woman. And that's what he figures out, like, I need to go save Sanchez because he's over there in Jamaica, little Jamaica, or what the hell ever.
yes, little Jamaica. Right. But the thing is, like, he finds the mustache ripped off on the pillow, like, in the bedroom. But he's like, I gotta talk to the clean lady. She usually tries to clean up the room and everything. And he's trying to make it that way. I'm like, no. And then, what is Little Jamaica?
It's just like little Mexico, little Chinatown, little Tokyo. It's just where all the migrants just pile up and live.
But everybody in Little Jamaica isn't like Jamaican or anything like that. Like usually, like it's like you see like Jamaican like style. Like, I mean, like if you go little Chinatown and like Little Italy, it's all like the food and the restaurants and like scenery set up is like
there's a talking asshole for a main character. Do you think Sense Makes is here in this show?
No. Well, I assume to see something of Little Jamaica. I mean, real Jamaica. There's nothing. It just looked like Miami.
Oh my god. Yeah, I like how he talked. Like at first it sounded like a regular voice, and then I was listening to it more. It actually does sound like someone's talking through some ass cheeks. It's like
it just sounds like Sylvester Stallone muffling.
So I'm assuming his asshole is his mouth, and that's why he's talking, and then the cheeks are like covering his mouth, so he's like, so it's distorting his voice. And then they had like the general commercial or whatever. That was interesting.
Yes. Where he's selling the used cars on the car lot.
Yeah. I didn't know what the hell he was saying. I had no idea what he said. I couldn't understand anything he said.
They do little signs that tell you what he says. They slap signs everywhere for you to know. Oh god, poor Sanchez in that commercial. He gets shot every time.
Man.
Oh yeah, that's his name, Sanchez. I forgot his name.
Sanchez. I'm just gonna say this. I wish we watched the episode Squirrels because
Squirrels
I
was a
watched
good
Squirrels
episode.
I was trying to figure out this episode thing like set up, and I saw squirrels. I'm like, is this gonna be a fight against squirrels? I want to know. And then I clicked the preview, and it's just Assy McGee's like, "All right, Sanchez, I got him coming out. Get it ready." He's like, Assy's all ready. And he like hops on a minigun. He just lets go of a minigun, ripping teenagers apart. I'm like, what's happening? What's happening? Like, yeah, get it. Get it. Yeah. And just shooting up everybody with a minigun. And it doesn't look right because he's shooting him with his ass out because that's his face. So this really looks even funnier. Oh no! But there's a part in Squirrel. There was another part in Squirrels is when they're trying to hunt ducks, and he's like, "Hunt ducks." And I saw this other preview of it on YouTube. That got me more interested in watching it. He's like, "This is gotta be stupid as fuck." They're trying to hunt ducks at the same time in this beginning of the episode. He's like, "All right, Sanchez, you drink the piss." It's like, "What do you mean drink the piss?" Well, usually we have to drink duck piss. So we get into the rage of hunting ducks. Did you drink the piss? He's like, yeah, I drank the piss. All right, cool. And he's like, did you drink the piss? No, I drink my own piss because I don't want to drink duck piss. And then he go on a hunting spree of fucking ducks. It's fucking weird, man.
I don't even know how to
weird.
I don't even know how to review this movie. Like, I don't even know how to like rate it or anything. It's just like you kind of go along for the ride, and it's just like, all right, yeah, that was the episode, all right. And you know, like, what do you really say to that? Yeah, exactly. It's a fucking ass man. He's literally ass. He's an ass.
Well, Josh has said that this has no rating. Crispy,
like,
what would you rate this?
I love it. I love it. I fell down a rabbit. I love this ass. I'll give it at least an 8, just because it's just out of nowhere. It's funny. There's no direct point of like actually what a true story is, but it just like, well, they give you a story, but they just give you so much distraction that you forget what's happening to the end, as he does save the fucking day. I love the chaos of the show, so I'm giving it an 8 for the chaos.
I can't give it a number. I have to see more of it to really say anything.
I've seen enough to be like, I need to watch this. If you just watch this, you're gonna go down a rabbit hole of just Assy. You go into an asshole.
Assy hole. So, Jerry, what's your overall?
This whole show is just chaos. Because once you finish Assy McGee, then you go to Drinky Crow, 12-ounce mouse, Super Jail.
More? Are they all connected?
Don't forget Squids.
They're just all fucked up shows adults has.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. I'm like, how do people get paid to make these shows? I'm like, oh my god, people get paid to make this.
Well, the thing is, it's nice. It's only 10 minutes long. There's no like 30 minutes of dragging. It's just 10 minutes, and it's all action-packed and ready to freaking go. So you're never dull at any moment.
I give this a smooth 7 just for the chaos.
Chaos wins.
Well, before we go to the next segment, we didn't rate Space Jam 2. What do you
Negative 7. Negative 7.
What do you guys give it?
I give it a 4.
Negative 7.
Negative 7.
It was so fucking trash. I never hated a movie more than I hated this.
Like you get.
Well, you guys hate it.
I love how
so
we
much.
Backwards.
I just wanted. Well, we didn't get the reviews. I wanted. I'd probably give it a 6.
I understand, but like,
I'll give it a 6.
Just leave it as a mystery.
I would give it a.
No, I want to know. I want to know. Yeah.
I would say
that's
like
fair.
a movie. What makes a movie is having a a solid lead and has a good story to tell you.
Well, Michael
And
Jordan
if it-
wasn't a good lead either.
What?
Michael Jordan wasn't a good lead either.
Well, no, but
It's nothing
his
against
acting is-
LeBron James.
no,
He just can't act.
he can't act. And
Neither
Michael
can
Jordan,
Michael Jordan.
probably couldn't act either, but his acting felt more genuine than freaking.
He was a
LeBron's
straight
did.
man. He was more of a straight man. So like it was like
yeah.
he was like the Looney Tunes were bouncing off of him. He's like supposed to be react to the audience. And LeBron was
So like
just
it
like
felt
an asshole.
better. They just forced LeBron's into a fucking movie. That's all this movie felt like.
All right, that's all I want to know. I just wanted to ask the rating. Okay,
Get
Jared.
out of here with these fucking ratings. Including, I fit 12, like every other rating that I've seen for that movie cannot budge over 5 for some odd reason. Everywhere I went, for some reason. I looked in everywhere. I don't know if it's changed lately, but I know on
Yeah, there have
was
been
it
like
Thursday or
5.
Friday, me and my coworker Isaac realized we were talking about Space Jam, and he's like, what's the ratings? And like Google told us it was 4, then IMDb was telling us it's 3.7. So
And he got 33% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
damn straight.
You know what?
And
No matter how bad
Dude,
this movie is, I hope it fucking makes actually some money. You know, I don't know why.
it made $30,000.
$30,000 is nothing.
No, my bad. $37,000,000.
Let me finish
It
my
beat Wonder
point.
Woman.
Shut up.
It beat
Shut
one
up.
freaking Black Widow because of us 90s kids. No.
Shut up.
No.
I
No.
want to say my point. The reason why I wanted to make money is because it's like it actually had like a decent amount of 2D animation, and it's such a great thing to have 2D animation in fucking movie theaters, and I want that to happen. I want this movie to make money, so studios or heads are like, oh, maybe 2D makes money, you know, like.
They ain't gonna
There's
change
like
shit.
no-
You're reaching.
There's no 2D movies that have been in theaters, and this is like the first thing I could think of in like, I don't know, like 10 years. What's the last 2D movie that was even in theaters? I mean, the whole movie was in 2D, but a good portion of it was.
I couldn't tell you.
Right? So that's why I want this movie to make money, because I want studios to go like, oh, 2D is a commodity that can make money. It's not the animation. If it makes money, they'll do it. So this is the first step. Is Space Jam 2.
Made money because of name. That's all I got money for.
Yeah, but as long as they see like how it's made, they're stupid. That's why they've been making these decisions. Like that's all they see. They see the face value of it. They go like, oh, there's 2D in this. Oh, it made money. Oh, we could make 2D movies now. You know, that's all they'll see. That's all these executives see. They're stupid. They're very dumb. They don't really have artistic merits at all. They just see the money. That's all they want with these big studio heads. So that's why I want this movie to make money. So hopefully more 2D products go out in theaters now. All right, I'm done talking about Space Jam 2. Jerry,
we can get into this. This was probably my most favorite pick for right now that I've done. And
Are
if
you
you
sure?
don't believe me, you can ask my good friend Matt about what he thinks on Cool World.
Son of a bitch. All right, so
I'm very excited.
so Cool World. I don't know how to explain this movie. It's freaking outrageous. So I'm just gonna do this a little bit here. This is the beginning. If you if you guys have watched Roger Rabbit,
Yeah.
This is Roger Rabbit if it got an R rating. It just went too freaking far with everything in every direction. So Cool World is about a gentleman from the 1940s that gets in a car accident after getting out of the war. He gets his he won a motorcycle. He takes his mother on a ride, and he accidentally gets into a car accident with a man and his girlfriend leaving a bar that was
Drunk.
hopefully drunk.
Yeah.
So the mother ends up dying. and Brad Pitt is the character, actor for the veteran, and he ends up seeing his mother and realizing everything's going to hell, and starts crying about his mother's passing and everything. But at the same time, this other universe opens a portal and sucks him in, Bay. And sucks him into its world prior of its creation wise, because there's a gentleman, I believe they jumped to like the 1980s, and there's a gentleman that supposedly created this world, Cool World, that gets arrested due to murdering his wife's lover, and he ends up going to prison, and he's finishing his sentence that he had left. And all he could do is draw additional scenes or draw artwork of characters that he needed to make for the next additional stories if he wants to continue with it. And there's a character that he keeps making. It's called Holli Would, and she keeps manipulating him from the other universe to get him to come to her world. And when he gets sent over himself due to Holli Would, Brad Pitt shows up to arrest him or kick him back out of his world, because you can't have a doodle have a relationship with a nard, right?
You can't have them have sex with each other. They can have a relationship.
It's the term is a nard for humans, right?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, so the nard can't do things with the doodles. So everything in this movie looks like Tim Burton opened up his own mind and just spewed it out on paper. It literally looks like a Tim Burton world. And it's just hectic. Everything runs crazy. And God, this is difficult for me. So it ends up becoming that Holli Would has her own plan of leaving the Toon world to go to the real world so she can live her life as a real human being, and then at the same time take this special spire thing that unlocks the Toon world to spew into the real world. So technically her plan wasn't that, I don't know, satisfying. It doesn't feel satisfying because, like, in a way, like, she wanted to be real, but to bring the Toon world into the real world doesn't make any sense when she wants to feel and be endured by real people. Everyone else that got touched by this Toon ink turns into a Toon themselves. So, but at the end of the movie, Brad Pitt is trying to stop Holli Would. Holli Would ends up killing Brad Pitt's character off, and the prisoner that created Cool World ends up stopping Holli Would and sending back all the Toons. But he is now stuck in Cool World as a superhero that looks like a dick. That's the best way I can describe this
pretty
chaos.
accurate. It's pretty accurate. I mean, a lot of it doesn't make any fucking sense at all. This movie doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't. Like, it's promising. Like, I tried to dig deep with this one as I did with the last movie. How there was all probably in his head or all this stuff and all this stuff. Like, I tried doing a reach. Sorry, I didn't let you guys really think. I just wanted to state this quick. But like, Brad Pitt, I thought he would be more in a coma state, and all this is in his fucking head. So that's what I was trying to. Hopefully, this would draw to that Brad Pitt's actually in a hospital bed in a coma for so many years. Then he's been on life support trying to stay alive. But no, Brad Pitt's actually in that fucking world. That's the thing that screwed me up.
They did that. I like,
and like, that's what I was hoping it was going to go. Like, he's there, and then at this other, he's just imagining all this stuff happening because he can't have a real life anymore because he's now basically a bedridden tomato, and but at the end of the movie, he defeats Holli Would. I would hope that it would unlock him and send him back out of like the coma world, the coma lifestyle, and into the real world. Like how he's like, they're like, oh yeah, you got to go back to the real world. I'd rather not go back to the real world. You have to go back to the real world. I felt like that should have been him battling himself to get out of the coma, and it didn't. It was just him actually in this upside down toony world.
Yeah,
It's so weird.
It didn't make any sense. Yeah, the Holli Wood's plan didn't make any sense to me. So she wants to be human so she can feel things, I guess that's what I'm getting out of it. But then
Yeah.
she goes to Las Vegas.
She wants to
And
taste, she wants to feel, she wants to be everywhere.
Right,
She
I
wants
get
to
that
fuck.
part. I thought she was just wants to be human, and then she gets.
That's what it starts off.
Yeah, that part makes sense. And then, but then she wants to get this. What the hell was it called? That lightning rod thing that's on top
It's
of
Spire.
The what?
What is
Spire.
it?
The Spire.
She's trying to get this like rod that's on top of one of the Vegas like plaza hotels, and apparently has magic powers to release the Cool World tunes into our world.
No, it's not. It doesn't have the powers. It just unclogs.
It's just a plug.
If you pull it, it unplugs Toon World, Cool World out of the fucking like portal. It's
Right.
blocking.
Yeah, and
It's
so she unplugs it, and then so her plan is that she wants to make the real world Cool World, or like I didn't understand her plan at that point. It didn't make any
her
sense.
plan went
anymore.
downhill. I think she just overly. I think once she entered the real world and got what she really wanted, I think she just went reaching for what she can do next, and including she was turning back into that clown form at the end of the movie. So she was more reaching that I have to touch the spire to stay human.
Yeah, but then
or
she turned back
pull
into
the
her
plug.
cartoon form.
Technically, that clown is basically her true self, what she should have been, like how she was acting and how she was
You
being.
said that right.
Yeah. Well, T-Pillow says Holli Would was aggressively hot, horny, and it terrified me. Yeah,
It was scary.
Yeah.
Because I had like a whole different. How I viewed it wasn't too far off from how Matt viewed it. But for me, it was like you're kind of watching Brad Pitt's character fight between, being able to go back to the real world and go to Cool World or like the afterlife as I looked at it. Because when he went there, it was right after the motorcycle accident. His mom had died. He just got back from the war. So he could have had like a severe PTSD-induced panic attack and just went into heart failure. And they just never really showed it. And it's like how, Jack Deebs was kind of coming and going through Cool World. Like he came through for pleasure, but Brad Pitt came in to run from his pain. Because, Jack Deebs, he'd been locked up in prison, like you said. So it's like, okay, now he's trying to get into his fantasy outlet so he can find his happy ending, I guess you could say. And so
he got his happy ending, all right.
Yeah, he did. And so it's like you see kind of the duality between the two, with how one is trying to run from his pain while another is trying to find the next fix. Like, all right, ooh, that's a big ass hawk. Sorry, there's a hawk outside the window.
Yeah, that's cool. Was it like right at your window?
Jerry's bird watching now. What the fuck? Josh, you got your book on you? Can you tell me what hawk it is?
Oh, I don't have my bird book with me, no.
But it's just even Holli Would, you can see like her thing is kind of the basic dream people have when they want to go to like Hollywood, California, Vegas. Like she wants to be like a big famous name over there since she already had it over in Cool World. And she was like, it'll just be a seamless transition when all actuality, she didn't have no job. She didn't have a place to live. She would have easily been, pimped and tricked out by the first dude. Because, Kim Basinger, she looks better as a doodle than as a person. That's my hot take on that.
I can take. I would say she looked good as either or.
I'll take them.
wouldn't-
I'll take either. Yeah.
I'll take either one. I'd
Yeah,
rather
Vicky-
have the
she's
real
Vicky
one.
Vale. I agree.
And it, even with Brad Pitt's character, like you can see the tension of between him and I can't even think of his doodle girlfriend name. But it's like,
I don't remember.
she's trying to help him like move past his pain to be like, come stay here with me. Everything will be better. And he's like, no, I can't do it because he's just still got this like fear, regret, and just anger because that's how he got back from Cool World into Vegas. Like he had to relive his pain and whatnot. And even at the end, he still fucking died. Like, yeah, he's a doodle, so he can have weird doodle sex with his girlfriend as a penis monster. But it's like that none of that made sense. Like the whole premise was to stop Jack Deebs and Holli Would. Now you've got her trying to essentially get the spotlight with the Spire. And then like Jack Deebs, dude looked like a fucking meth head, okay? He's just like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? And then he's like, you're right, I can do this. Because then he turns into like a superhero doodle. So it's just like,
oh God,
for what? You were about to let out the antidote for some pussy. He was gonna say, fuck the world, just let me hit it one more time. And he's like, no, wait, this isn't what I must do. And he's just cartoon running like Daffy Duck all the way up to where the Spire was. And it's like Josh said, it lost itself like halfway through.
Like it was solid. There was a solid thing going on with it until Jack D showed up. I would say that. It felt solid until Jack D came in. Like I felt it was gonna be more like Who Framed Roger Rabbit. It was gonna be a fake, basically a copy and paste of Who Framed Roger Rabbit. But then you bring in Jack D in the mix, is fucking everything up. I thought it'd be a murder mystery in Cool World.
Yeah, if it just took place all in Cool World, it would have been more interesting.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I thought it was gonna be more like Brad Pitt based, like kind of like he is going around causing trouble because he still thinks he's doing all this good and stuff, but really he's like losing his sanity from being in Cool World for so long.
Yeah, that would have been cool. That would have made sense because he was there since the 1940s. And how the fuck did he even get here? This How did he get to Cool World? So he's, like Matt was saying, he's driving his motorcycle. He's crashed his fucking bike, and then this fucking out of nowhere. It's literally you're watching The Real World. His mom dies. He's like sobbing over the death of his mother. Then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, fucking Professor Cartoon comes out of nowhere, and it just pops on screen in this like traumatic scene. You're like, what the fuck is this? And then he just like takes Brad Pitt out of The Real World and puts him in Cool World. And then you're like, I had no idea what the hell was going on. I was like, what is happening right now? What is this?
I don't know. I think. Oh no, I don't know anymore.
I thought you were gonna have an answer. I was like,
no, I was hoping, but no, there's no answer to any of that. Like
the movie just kept insisting upon itself after a certain point.
Yeah.
I'm like,
hands down, it's a good movie, but it's just a bad movie at the same time.
It's a good movie. I would not say it's a good movie. It's a very entertaining movie. It's a very interesting movie. It is not a good movie. Like
it's a good movie because it entertained me the whole time.
It's not good.
The movie was horny. And it made me uncomfortable.
The movie was very horny. I thought Holli Would was gonna get like straight up nude at that like intercourse.
That's what I thought.
I thought too.
with what's his name, Jack
Jack
created
Jack
Cool,
Deebs.
who created Cool World, but it doesn't make any sense. So Brad Pitt is from, he's after the World War II. He's come back from the war. He's like hanging out with his mom. He gets sucked in to Cool World in the 40s, and then it cuts to the 80s. No, the 2040s, Matt. So it cuts to the 1980s, 1990s, and then they're all praising Jack D, like, oh, you made Cool World, you're such a great guy. And then Cool World existed before he even made it, but he said he made all these characters, so I didn't understand what was the creation of Cool World. Is he even a part of it? Does he have anything to do with it? Obviously he has something to do with it because he created Holli Would and these other characters that he was recognizing, but it existed decades before he even was writing these comic books, so I had no idea what that was about. Is there any answer to that? Because the
answer that I kind of came up with, it was like Holli Would was giving him small glimpses of Cool World so he could create the Cool World comic and whatnot. So it was he just imagination all of these characters, this expansive world. And it was really her way of trying to just use another sheep to get what she wanted.
Yeah, but the thing is, I want to say, we never meet the wife of Jack D. I want to say Holli Would was another reflection of his wife that cheated on him, that he supposedly murdered, or supposedly just murdered the boyfriend, the guy she's cheating with. And do that, he still likes her. Do that, he still was in love with her. He made Holli Would, and do that, he made her to be just like the wife, that she took on the whole persona of the wife was. How she needed more, she needed better, all that stuff, and it all manipulated. It just came down to that point when she got what she wanted. Now she can keep going with another plan of hers, another thing she wants later on. That's how it felt like. I kind of like that character was just led down to that thing. But we never meet the wife or know anything else but that she cheated on her. So that's my reach for Hollywood. That she's just a copy of his real life ex-wife that went too far with plan. Too far in the drawing world, and actually took on maybe the persona of the ex-wife, because he put all that ex-wife into her and all that stuff. That's my reach, but that's all. I'm not saying, but I'm just sense. What
I said. No, that makes sense from what you're saying.
I can agree with
but
that.
We all have to say the best character is Needles.
Needles. Yeah. Yeah, I like Needles. He's like his partner, Brad Pitt's partner. His partner.
We all know his voice, don't we, guys? We all should know his voice actor.
No.
I can't think of it off the top of my head.
I can't. I was going for a while with his name. I believe his first name is Charlie, and he voiced basically everybody from the 90s up to early 2000s. I think he's still going, but for us to remember, he did a lot of voices for Rocko's Modern Life. He was the Frog Family. He did Cow and Chicken. He was Cow, Chicken, the red guy. He was Ickis and the weird thing with the 4 legs with the red beak. That was a weird, it could have been a drag kind of character. He played a lot of other characters in some kind of Rugrats. He did a lot of background voice acting.
Mm-hmm.
But he was our 90s. That actor.
Yeah,
he was really our voice actor. He has a lot of voice credits for the 90s.
Do you know his name? Who is he?
It was Charlie
Adler.
That's it.
Charlie Adler.
I should also point out one thing before I forget. Frank Sinatra was in Cool World.
Was he?
Was that his
Yep.
son?
It was right before he died.
Oh, like actual
Oh,
Frank Sinatra was in Cool World.
Frank Sinatra
Yeah,
Jr.
because no,
The junior. Yeah, that's what I thought.
No,
Because I
junior.
actually thought that was Frank Sinatra Jr. during that scene, but I wasn't sure. It's a scene where Holli Would is, she comes to the real world and she's trying to perform like Marilyn Monroe. She's trying to embody her, and she's singing this. I forget this song, this tantalizing
it's basically
song.
just
And I
I
thought,
song.
It's
yeah,
the
I thought
song
that.
of her people to steal
Yeah.
your semen.
Yeah,
I thought that was Frank Sinatra Jr., but I wasn't sure. That makes sense because, like, I was looking at him, like, is that? Probably not.
I was
thought it
thinking
was
the same
acting.
thing too, but I was like,
Yeah.
"There's no way Frank Sinatra Jr. would do something this
Yeah.
crazy."
Yeah, he's like,
he did.
I guess so. Yeah, this movie is quite a trip.
That's a roller coaster.
The backgrounds and stuff look great when they're in Cool World.
I love.
Those were like the most impressive parts for me was the backgrounds and just the design of it. The set
agree.
design when they incorporate the real actors into Cool World was awful, was really bad. It looked like a cheap stage play because like they're trying
That's
to make
what
it
I
look like
liked about them.
they're trying to make it look like it was 2D. And like, yeah, I get it. It worked in like certain scenes, but other scenes it just didn't work. Like when Brad Pitt's at the bar and it's cutting from the the tunes just like interacting with the cartoon background, and then it cuts to Brad Pitt, and it's obviously just like a painting right behind him, so it just doesn't look like it's just a set, obviously, so it doesn't mesh together with the two like intercuts, like what they're cutting between, and like all the bottles and stuff, like when he was interacting with it in the lamppost, they were like looked like they were just made out of cardboard. I get they're trying to make it look like I get they're trying to make it look like it was 2D, but it just like did not really work for me. I just kept thinking of Roger Rabbit, and I was like, they did it so much better in that movie, and that movie came out like 4 or 5 years before this movie came out, and I was like, oh man, they just did it so much better in that movie. And like when Bob Hopkins is in Toon World, he's actually picking up physical objects and like interacting with it, and then they would draw over it, and that they would like mime it so many times. You could tell when Brad Pitt was like massaging his girl's shoulders, like he's touching nothing, he's just doing this, and it just looked so. They weren't seem like, yeah, it just seemed so out of place, and like it took me out of the scene. I'm like, okay, that's not happening, that's not real. And like when Brad Pitt was looking at people when he was talking to them in Cool World, it looked like he was just like looking through them. He wasn't looking at them. And I know, like, go back to Roger Rabbit, they would like put a prop there, they would film it. Bob Hoskins would know where eye level was, and then they would take the prop out, and then he would know exactly where they did it. It just looked like they just like drew shit on screen and just threw it out there, and it was just like there wasn't that much time to really rehearse like where the eye levels are and all the technicalities. And it just didn't. It just made me appreciate Roger Rabbit a lot more watching this movie. I was like, no movie is going to do that better ever because it's just so good.
It's because those guys actually took the time. They give you a good story
a lot of time.
and bring everybody's favorite characters to life. These guys are just making a movie to see if they can mimic that movie, but in their own way.
They're obviously trying to, yeah.
And it's a bad execution.
Yeah.
And it's just like I see where they're going. They're going with the twisted lifestyle, like the twisted universe. And all that junk. It just didn't want to execute properly because the story couldn't contradict itself, like you said. It just didn't want to flow right. They had a flowing story that would have made it. With Roger Rabbit, we knew what was happening. Someone framed Roger Rabbit and murdering somebody. So everyone's trying to find Roger to figure out what the fuck happened. That's how what. It's basically trying to do. And then in the midst, they try to kill him, yes. because one guy hated tunes, even though he was a tune himself. But like, yeah, this movie did not have that purpose. There was so much misleading and all that junk. It just sent us down another spiral of stupidity.
They said we got to make an extra horny Roger Rabbit. That's what.
Basically, they did. They saw
did.
Jessica Rabbit, and they said,
Jessica
"Let's
Rabbit.
turn that shit up a notch."
Yeah.
Not that notch wasn't just a notch. They turned that dial to fucking 10.
Yeah.
And just
They
let it
turned
go.
it right to 10 and jammed it past.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whoever.
What?
What's that? Yeah. The actress who played Holli Would. Like, I thought she
They
looked
Very
Basinger.
stated her name.
really great. She looked really good. The girl who played Vicky Vale in the original Batman. I gotta agree with Matt. I think Kim Basinger, that's her name.
Mhm.
I thought she looked I thought she looked better as a human. I mean, with cartoons you can make them as appealing as possible. So, it's kind of like what you want out of it. But yeah,
We can go down to Rule 34 thing later, but
they took
today.
they took what the poise of Jessica Rabbit and just like they hinted at the sexuality of Roger Rabbit, and then it was just like that dialed up like another notch.
Okay, but the thing about Jessica Rabbit was that she was a loyal wife, even though she's like this.
She had redeeming quality. She wasn't just a sexual object. She actually was like working.
Yeah,
She cared for Roger and was
Yeah.
even ready to kill for him.
Yeah, exactly. Like there wasn't really any redeeming qualities of Holli Would other than
every redeeming quality of
She was a
Holli Would
slut.
went down the tube.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. That's her only character. That was
Like,
it.
You would assume she should have a demon quality. No, there is nothing.
There wasn't anything.
There's nothing attached to her other than she wanted to change herself for her own being. Like said, she wanted to be something else. But like other than that, it's just like she didn't have anything else to like die or kill for other than her own self.
Yeah, and her plan didn't make any sense. Like I was saying, so I didn't know what she was really about. I know she was trying to emulate like these Hollywood actors and trying to be famous. But then the whole plug thing kind of threw me off. Then I didn't know what she was trying to do.
That's her reaching. I think that's her like, I have to go back to tune stuff or something. What the hell this shit's going on? Because she kept glitching because she's in the real world where she's not supposed to be. If she stayed in Toon World, Cool World, she would have been fine if she was a human because she'd be still stable. But her still having doodle DNA instead of human DNA, she would have been fine as a human in Cool World. And once she broke the mold and jumped into the freaking real world, that whole structure of hers was glitching and ruining itself. And it was showing her true face of being a clown, like I said before, and then believing that she can live in this world and keep the lifestyle of herself going in this real world. And it fucking failed because she just sucks at what she's doing. So she went ape shit and pulled the plug, literally pulled the plug, and set Toon World out because if she can't live as live as real, let's live as a toon in the real world.
Once what's the creator's name? Is it Jack? Right? Jack
Deebs.
Yeah, Jack
Yeah,
Deebs.
once he becomes the superhero character, he's not even Jack Deebs anymore. He's just that superhero. He's a completely different character.
Dick.
He's not even there's nothing that it's not even like the same voice actor. It didn't even sound like his voice. Like it was completely a different character. So might as well not even be him.
They went with the cliche superhero voice, like "I'm here to save the day" voice for him, and they switched it up because it looks like in his head that's what his hero is. Sounds like his mental thought process.
He's like a big comic book writer and reader. But
I thought it was dumb.
Even have to be him.
I thought that was really dumb. Like,
yeah,
You painted yourself to be a hero, but all of this is your fault.
Yes, it's true.
Yeah, well, I mean, he gets his comeuppance at the end of the movie. You know, like he's stuck with.
But it took him
Holli
too
Would
long
at
to
the-
realize it.
At the end of the movie, I mean, he's still like he like loses a few brain cells once he becomes the hero. Like he's like at the end, they're like in the comic book, and Holli Would and him are like together, and like, oh, I'm gonna have a house, we're gonna have kids, and blah blah blah. I'm gonna be a superhero. And then she's like, oh, you have a needle dick or something, and that's how the movie ends. I'm like, what
Pencil
the fuck
dick.
was
Pencil
what?
dick.
Yeah, what was this even about?
Yeah, pencil dick.
What, yeah.
It was nothing. It was just to show that he's still a thing. They wanted the closure of everybody. So like the Brad Pitt's character Jack, he's living his life out as now as a doodle with his doodle girlfriend,
Yeah.
and then they
That was
wanted to
still
reflect on what's his
stupid.
name.
That was stupid.
That was dumb as fuck.
I wanted,
A
Like,
guy
someone to
dies, a
mention
guy
that.
dies.
How did he
I-
die, Nails? Did she
Oh,
kill him
that
as
was-
a human or a
Nails wasn't
doodle?
even there.
Because
And
if
I'm
a
just
tune
like-
kills you, you become
So-
a tune.
So you're telling me
No, but-
if I get killed by Daffy Duck, I can go live as Daffy Duck as a doodle or a tune? No, that's stupid. He
No, no,
was
no.
dead.
Yeah.
No, he
Like-
died in the real world. The Toon World rule should not apply to a real person in
Yeah.
the real world getting dragged back into that
Exactly.
world.
Like in Roger Rabbit when freaking Christopher Lloyd kills, his brother, he's a tune. He killed his brother and he died. There's repercussions. Like he
Mhm.
died in the real world. When I killed your brother, I talked just like this. I can't do the high pitched voice, but just like this.
That voice is that's one of his best characters.
Oh yeah, he's so great in that movie. But yeah, there's no way not to compare this movie to Roger Rabbit. Like any movie that does this is going to be directly compared to Roger Rabbit. Roger Rabbit did this a million times better. It's just so much better.
A lot
It's
So
such a
it's
better
the
movie.
first. They did it right too, and it's fucking great that they
And-
planned properly.
Exactly. And once Brad Pitt becomes a cartoon, it was like really funny. Like he's obviously still voiced by Brad Pitt, but like
He
it was
looked like
so-
Tintin.
Yeah, he looked like he did look.
He
like
looked
Tintin.
like Tintin.
And then like how
He
he's
did.
acting, it was definitely more animated, which I think that was the point of it. But he was like, "Yeah, hey baby, check a load of me. Whoa, look at me."
He was trying
It
to
was
talk
totally
like
fucking
an
hell.
old New Yorker leaving
I
a
know,
jazz
like, his
club. I'm
voice
like, this is
completely
so
changed.
god awful.
Well, that's the fucked up thing about Brad Pitt. And most of his movies, he's always like in like World War II setting, and he's from New York. So he's like default character has to go to New York for some reason.
I don't know. Brad Pitt looked pretty young in this movie. This one came out in
Oh no, that's
1990.
an early movie of his. Definitely an early movie.
I seen I
But-
just seen a movie with him the other night. A River Runs Through It, and it came out the same year. And I was like,
Did
wow,
it?
this is a really good movie. He looked like he was like 15 in that movie, but that movie's a lot better than this. And I was like, wow, it was
Wait,
just like
it came
a
out
weird.
the same time.
It came out the same year.
Wow. So like,
it-
imagine the stress now on him doing two movies at once.
well, I mean, I'm sure they'll film at different times, but they were released in the same year, so it was just like interesting to see the contrast between these two different movies, like Brad Pitt at the same era. And I was like, oh well, Cool World is such a
Give
like
us a little synopsis
you-
of the other movie,
you don't.
so we can get a picture of this.
Well, the
I
river
was
runs
out
through
knowing.
it. It like takes place in the like 1800s. It's Brad Pitt and his brother, and it's basically like they're getting life lessons through fly fishing with their father. And I don't want to spoil too much, but like he owes debt to creditors, and they're like hounding him the whole time. And his brother's trying to get him to move with them, and he ends up, falling behind because of the creditors. I don't want to give too much away, but it was a lot of life lessons, a lot of quiet, somber moments, time to reflect and act with other actors. In this movie, he had nothing.
So it
It
sounds
was
like
a
a
real
real movie.
It's definitely a real movie. I recommend. I
So-
highly recommend it. It was really good. But in this movie, he had nothing to really reflect or act against. You know, it was just like he's like acting at a wall, which essentially is what he's doing. So like you could kind of tell like he had nothing to work with, and like he had no like really any props. Like I was saying earlier, when he was touching the tunes, it's obviously he's not touching anything, and it was too obvious. Like there was nothing there, and he had nothing to work with.
I think that's the joke.
I don't think it was supposed to be a joke. That was not.
That was a horrible joke.
Yeah, it was terrible. It was not a joke.
It's just.
I don't know what else to say about this. What do you guys have? You guys have anything else? What the fuck is that?
That's my bottle opener.
No,
it's Pac-Man though.
Oh my god, are we sponsored by that?
No, this is Loot Crate. We're not sponsored by Loot Crate, but we
not yet.
We were sponsored by Loot Crate.
Not.
We'll be loving to have you sponsored by Loot Crate. I love Loot Crate. I've been subscribing to Loot Crate for almost 4 years. I'm well trained with them.
Matt works at Loot Crate.
I love
Crate. Give us free money.
No, I'll just take the crates.
Give me the money for the crate.
Yeah,
I want Loot Crate. Give me the Berserk crate, because when I tried to order that shit, y'all said y'all were sold out. You fucking assholes.
Dessert crate.
Wow, I'm trying to get the sponsor.
Yeah, now they hate us. Wait, what crate was it? What is it?
It was for this. It's for this anime called Berserk. And I really wanted the crate because the creator for it just recently passed, and his 55th birthday was earlier this week.
Oh, shit. Oh, he died pretty young. Oh, that sucks.
So I'm just like, give me the fucking crate, you racist assholes. And I know you're listening, Loot Crate.
I don't know if that's the case, but
me either. But next year, let's jump back to Cool World again. I'm gonna say this. I like the one thing in the beginning of the movie where they do the shell shock thing with him going back into World War II when he's like screaming.
Yeah, that was neat.
And all that stuff. And him and you hear actually like explosions in the background. Him calling back to like that whole scene. Like it would actually be pretty cool if they slap him back in his outfit, his uniform, for a second. Then he realizes his mother is dead, and it slaps him back into reality. Because his movie doesn't make any sense. That wouldn't make any sense either with it.
No, that
would be a thing that slaps him back into reality, though. That his mom's here. Wait, where am I now? He's home. He's back in whatever the hell he's from. He's in the desert, so he's yeah.
I think he's he's in Nevada somewhere.
I think it's Nevada, probably. Yeah, he's in because he's right by his. Shoot, I would say they kind of redid his house to be one of the newer people's in the 1980s living there or something. I was trying to make a connection with that with Jack D and him. They probably have the same fucking house because his mom. They probably added more to his development because. It's been 40 fucking years.
You guys been definitely.
That would make me even.
You were definitely looking into this movie more than I have.
I was literally because
you were making this movie better in your head.
I was trying to make it clearer, but there was no wiping the shit off of it. When you wipe some shit, it gets shittier. And it's just you're in a shit storm, and your windshield wipers don't want to fucking clean the windshield, and you're smearing the shit until you can't go any further. And that's what happened.
There's points with the animation too, it was just so random. It didn't look like the animation was just supposed to be there. It's just they put it over the screen while Brad Pitt's talking to another character. There's a floating skull or some airplane flying in the middle of it. It's just it was just very distracting, and it looked like it was just animation cells that they already had, and they're oh well, where can we put this in a movie? And they're just flipping through. Oh, here and here, it's just throwing shit at the wall. It's just they could have just put it anywhere. It didn't make any
McGee right there.
It made no sense at all. Yeah, Assy McGee fucking made this movie. He
probably could have.
But yeah, there's even animation mistakes I was noticing, with those little sprites of animation. Like there was like one where they're in it, like they're like running around, and then like the next frame they're just gone. They're just disappeared. Like they're obviously in the middle of the frame, and then they're gone. I'm like, oh well, that's definitely a mistake. They're they could have like at least moved them across the screen, but it just ended, and that happened a couple times.
This movie was a good concept, but it was poorly executed.
Yeah.
Because watching it, it's definitely a 90s film. It's got those, that real dark, film set. It's got your, attractive male actor, attractive female actresses. But they just couldn't pull it all the way through like Roger Rabbit did. Because it did it first. I still love Who Framed Roger Rabbit. I try to watch it whenever I can.
It's amazing.
Yeah, that movie's great.
But it's like really when it hit the halfway point, that's when they just tripped and fell on their face and were like, well, we got to do it. They didn't even make the money back that they spent on the bullshit.
I'd be surprised if they made any profit on this movie, to be honest.
Because hold on, I actually had this pulled up in my notes. It literally grossed half of what it cost.
How much does it cost?
$28 million. So they only got 28.
Oh.
And they box office only 14.1. So they barely got over half of it back.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So they took a good loss right there.
Yeah, that was a heavy loss. Because especially for how they did like the pseudo real animation and stuff.
Yeah, that's definitely not easy to do.
There was more I really wanted from it because I was like, okay, Brad Pitt, he's clearly, well, in my mind watching this, okay, Brad Pitt is dead. So is he going to come back to life or is he going to, finish walking to the afterlife? And he gets there on like fucking bullshit and plot armor.
Yeah, it was like wrapped up so like quickly too. It wasn't like it was like set up earlier. Like it's not like they even said that line earlier. Like, oh, if a tune kills you, you become a tune. He's like, oh, I can't. Like if he was like going against like his girlfriend's like, oh, I can't go that route, baby. Like I'm in the flesh, blah blah blah, anything. But it was just like he dead, and then they bring him back to Toon World, and then his girlfriend's like, oh, how did she kill him? What form was she in? Oh, she was. They knocked him off a building. Oh, that means he's a tune too, because tunes turns into tunes if they die or some shit. It just it was
and
just
they
like
just never explained the rules of Cool World, and I'm like, okay, obviously a human can't fuck a painting, which doesn't stop people, but they do it. So how the hell does a tune killing a flesh and blood person make them a tune? I just don't get it.
There's just nothing to get. I don't think.
The thing is, like, I don't think that's how the rule works. Well, I feel like the rule is not that the tune kills him. Is if he's dead in Cool World, he turns into a tune, into a doodle. Because if he dies in, like, let's say a doodle, I mean, a doodle died in the real world, but he acted still as he didn't turn real. Nothing happened to him. He just stayed doodle-eyes, and they repatched him up. That was the doctor. The doctor should have died. The doctor should have died.
He should have died.
So, even the tune killing the tune doesn't even kill him right. Nothing kills anything right. So, I would say it's Toon World that has the magic that can turn him into the real thing, into a doodle. That's the thing. It's Toon World. You have to get him in the Toon World. But I think the rule has to be like more than if it's past like 10 minutes, not even 10 minutes, 5 minutes, he's dead. He doesn't get the turn back. He has to get That should have been the thing. They should have had needles trying to get him back when he died, and trying to get him back in the Toon World to bring him back so he can fight the enemy. And meanwhile, Jack is fucking everything up with his weird, muscly superhero guy. And Jack comes back as new Toon Jack. Some bullshit like that. I don't know. They should have had a better explaining with it than going with it. But, like, the Doctor, the thing is, like, when they were explaining things, it was in the beginning of the movie, and the Doctor and Jack were walking away. And not Jack, I mean, whatever his name is, Brad Pitt walking away, and they're going down the hallway. And that's after that, no one's seen the Doctor in fucking years. That's where they're explaining shit. And that's when we lost it.
I loved when the Doctor comes out of his costume, you know, in his real world clothes. Like, no one reacted to him being a cartoon. Like, not like a passenger or like anyone walking by. It was just like
casual. No
reaction. None. No reaction whatsoever.
The funny thing, he reminds me of like how in Space Jam, how the guys, how like the Monstars dressed up as that that tall, like a person.
Oh, when they're in the
freaking
coat.
Jacket and trench coat.
Yeah.
It reminded me of them if one of them actually got a proper size trench coat and just wrapped their face up like the Invisible Man style or Invisible Man, that kind of thing, and just went on his daily fucking routine.
Yeah, I heard,
and that's more questionable too.
Yeah, no, that would make sense. I heard the original. Like, one of the original concepts for this movie was that after the creator and Holli Would like have intercourse, they like create a baby, and then the baby's like a hodgepodge between like the real world and the, you know, cool world, and then like he's like has an reflecting of himself, and he's trying to figure out if he's a toon or if he's human. And I think that was like the original concept, but the studio like kind of went against that, and then so we got this, which
that's
Which I think that would have been a much more entertaining story.
Yeah, it would have been more like self-reflecting, and I think he would have been like, "Oh, should I be in the real world? Should I be in the cool world? Like, where do I belong?" kind of thing. And I agree. That's like the only thing I know. I know you could find it somewhere, like more of the details about it, but that's like what I heard. But yeah, no, I agree. It would have been a lot more.
Jerry, you still got the page up that tells us like who made this movie again?
Ralph Bakshi.
Yeah. That guy.
That guy.
He did the Lord of the Rings animated.
No, I mean like what production company?
Oh.
That's what I meant.
Produce.
I thought it was Paramount or Columbia. Yeah, Paramount. So Paramount's owned by Warner Brothers, I believe.
I don't know.
Don't ask me.
Not Warner Brothers. Paramount's owned by Funabla.
Columbia.
Shoot.
Sony.
No. That'd be a Sony Paramount. No, Paramount's owned by Disney now. What the fuck? But prior to that was Fox. No, I don't know anymore. These movies, everything nowadays is all fucked up.
I don't know who owns Paramount.
I don't know. Now I'm gonna draw a blank.
Viacom owns Paramount.
What's Viacom?
What's Viacom?
It's like CBS. Viacom, CBS.
Oh, it is Warner. It is Warner Brothers.
It is Warner
because they own.
So
Viacom owns Warner Media too.
And the people that made Roger Rabbit,
I don't know.
Wasn't it Warner Brothers, right?
I don't think so.
They had Bugs Bunny in it.
Yeah, they did.
They had all kinds of people in it.
Yeah, but they
had Mickey Mouse in that too.
Yeah, Mickey Mouse. Yeah, which was like a total corporate thing. They had to have equal amount of screen time, Bugs Bunny and Mickey Mouse, for the two studios to agree. That would not. I mean, it wouldn't really happen today. That was like that was the
No way.
power. That was the power of Steven Spielberg back in the the 1980s, 1990s. That's how big of a name he was. Like he got all these people to agree on it, and it's like a movie that could only be made at that period in time. So it's like such a time capsule, and like it's just like lightning in a bottle. That movie, it's like it would not strike again like that. That's why Daffy Duck and Donald Duck are on screen at the same time, and Bugs Bunny and Mickey Mouse are on screen at the same time, so they have the equal amount of screen time. I don't know. I think Warner Brothers did.
I'm looking at it
Roger
now.
Rabbit.
Edited by blah blah blah. Why is it not popping up?
That's the subsidiary parent company.
Touchstone. Disney's Touchstone
Oh,
made it. Oh, the banner on. Wait, what? The banner on 2000. Oh, wow. What the fuck? Film was released through Disney Touchstone Pictures. Banner on June 22nd, 1988. My fucking birthday.
Nice.
wow! You were born in 1988.
No, my birthday, not birth year.
Yeah, no, I know. Well,
So, but it was the funny thing was that it was loosely based on a novel from 1981.
yeah, I knew it
Who
was a book.
censored Roger Rabbit?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
by Greg K. Wolf. That was the funny thing with Roger Rabbit, but like, there's a lot of action. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it was Touchstone.
yeah.
It was
it's
Walt
owned by
Disney Productions.
Hmm.
So they were like almost like at that time still the kings of animation.
And then the 80s, they were like going kind of downhill. It was till the 90s Disney Renaissance is when they kind of picked back up. They were
Yeah.
almost bankrupt in the 80s.
So I don't know. It's kind of weird to say what the fuck about this animation
Well,
stuff.
I don't know.
And like how else did I through?
What do you guys? So what's your guys' final thoughts on not Roger Rabbit?
There you go first.
I'll give the movie itself a 5. I don't feel strongly about it one way or the other. I'm right in the middle. Maybe, yeah, I'm at a 5. I was thinking I'm leaning more toward like a 4.7, but it's a 5. Could I watch the movie again? Yeah. Would I find something I didn't notice before? Probably. Creativity and execution? No, I'm gonna do that as 2 separate things. The creativity was there. That was a perfect 10. Because it's like Crispy said, it's like they took Tim Burton's mind and just put it on paper. I really did like the gritty feel of it. Like, this is every day for me. I got to go out here and keep these fucking idiots in line before it's the apocalypse. Execution is a 2. They could have definitely done better.
Yeah,
especially considering that he's kind of a big name director who I know could have done better. So
yeah, I don't think he ever had like a big budget like that. Yeah.
Because this was the last like feature film he ever did. And after it flopped, he said, I'm never doing this again.
Yeah. So much pushback from the studio. I think they kind of derailed his original idea. And like this is probably his biggest budget thing he ever done. So like after that, like no one else wants to hire him after you have a big flop like this. But I don't know. Yeah. I would probably give this like I'd probably be with you, Jerry. I'd probably give it a 5, but out of all, man, I don't know. I'm between a 5 or a 6, just because the 6, I want to give it that one extra point just out of the creativity aspect of it. But all the cardboard sets and stuff look so cheap and phony that I'm going to stick with the 5.
I agree with you there. It's a hard thing to do because I want to like the movie. Like the interest is there, but I just can't. You're not pulling
connect.
me.
Yeah.
I definitely agree with you, and it's entertaining, like Matt was saying earlier. It's definitely not a good movie. It's definitely entertaining. Like I would watch it again. I wouldn't like. I don't know. I don't know if I would choose to watch it. If it was like on Netflix, maybe I'll click it, but I wouldn't pay money again to watch it. Really, Matt, what are your thoughts?
Oh God. So I'm in the same boat. I'm gonna stick with like Jerry with a 4.7, but I have the crap-tastic side of me, so I'm gonna give it at least an 8 for give me the runaround and the looniness and the bullshit.
So
That's a separate category. That's a separate category.
You could only do
So
one
no, because
Do
Jerry got to
one
do a
rating.
couple things. No, fuck off. No. So I get the real one is a 4.7 for
Okay,
being a
that's
real
the real one.
movie,
Okay, that's
but
fair.
the craptastic view of it is an 8 for giving me the runaround, making me trying to do solution, like trying to figure out the movie, and like the animation style was like I said, absurd and out of the way. And it just if it was properly executed and well done better, it would have been a totally different movie. I would say it wouldn't. It would be up the par, but it would still not be fucking Who Framed Roger Rabbit. But yeah, it won't do it. But
So-
it's just if there was more time-based setup and like better execution, story was rewritten properly to make it actually like
Cohesive.
storytellable, cohesive, well done. It would have been better. It would actually budge up to probably a 6.5 to a 7, almost. But no, it's at right now. It's where it lies. It's 4.7.
Okay, so not like thinking objectively, like not thinking like the quality of the film. Well, obviously quality, but what's like if you're
not thinking real movie.
if you're not thinking like if you're rating like a real movie like for everyone, just Matt's rating. If you're gonna combine your craptastic review and your 4.7 review, like separating those, what would you put it like as Matt's own personal viewing? What number?
I'm not watching this again.
So
I'm not watching this again.
So you
I'm
just
not-
gave it an
I'm
8,
not-
dude. So you would definitely
give it-
watch
no,
it.
I give it- No, I gave it an 8 for all of the stuff to it. I never said I was gonna watch it, so stop putting the
No,
words in my mouth. About
I'm
that.
not. I'm not saying.
No, stop. Because I just give it an 8 because of what they did.
No,
The
I'm
facts
saying
there's
what
on
I'm
there,
asking
but you're
you.
trying to say I'll watch it again.
No,
because
I'm
of
not
our
saying
rating.
that's not what I'm
That's
saying. I'm
where you're-
asking. That's not what I'm saying.
Yes,
I'm
you
asking
are.
you.
Just stop.
Oh my
Because I like my
God.
bad
I'm
movies.
just.
I'm
I'm
not gonna
just
watch
not.
it
I'm not asking you to
Stop.
watch it again.
Stop.
I'm
It's
asking.
okay.
No,
It's
let me
fine.
fucking
Just stop.
finish what
We're
I'm
good.
trying to say. What if you like objectively, if you're gonna not like just putting Matt's own personal review on it.
It's
like,
nowhere
what
in my
would you-
tops.
What would you? No, I'm not saying it's your top movie. I'm saying like what number would you put it if you're gonna put it like combine your craptastic view and your 4.7. Like where would you put it like without thinking like oh this is a bad movie or this is a good movie? Like where would you put it like for you personally?
Personally, like I said, like for the setup. Personally,
Just
I'm
like
gonna
for
say
you.
it's still at like a 5. It's gonna be just
Okay.
touching the 5 marker. It's not gonna get any further. But all the other shit was fun and laughing, like fun and great to have in the movie, but it didn't give it a movie. It didn't help. It was just there. No one gave it a fucking story.
Okay, that's all.
get these-
That's
all
all,
this
I was
stuff.
asking you. That was all I was asking. I wasn't asking you to watch it again. That's all I
They were
was
trying
asking.
to sell us sex, and they failed at selling sex.
I'll just watch an anime. It sells you sex in 5.3 seconds.
You have any final words and any final words, Josh?
I'm done. I'm done. Matt's all pissed at me now. I want to end the show.
All right, I guess we'll end it here.
Hold on. Before we go to outro,
No,
let
Matt.
me
No.
Put in my two. Let
No,
me put in
Matt,
my
you're not allowed.
2 cents
Not
of
allowed.
next All right, now you're just being
All right,
douche.
okay, what do you say?
Because I wasn't even talking about the movie because I was trying to make sure we get to the fucking next 2 weeks from
All right,
now's
go.
episode because we keep fucking forgetting. So bear with me, okay, mister? So I'm choosing the Batman movie. I believe it's from 1967. It's the Adam West movie. And the short I'm picking is going to be the when Scooby-Doo meets Batman from the original series.
Oh, okay.
Because we haven't done anything DC-wise.
No, we haven't.
And thanks for me watching a stupid video on Reddit that reminded me of the Adam West Batman movie. So we're going to watch this. This is what I picked. We haven't done anything like DC, like a whole setup in a while.
Okay.
So let's do it.
Okay.
I guess the Brave and the Bold Batman met Scooby-Doo once. I didn't know that. Oh, okay. But you're talking about the original, like, 70s.
I'm
Batman.
talking about, yeah.
I didn't know.
I thought it was 1960s, 1970s. Was it 70s, 60s?
Yeah, it says 70.
I'm being
It says
dyslexic. Me, I'm dyslexic.
It says 72.
I'm dyslexic. Throw number 7.
It's saying 72.
Oh, it's the Adam West
Scooby-Doo.
Batman movie.
Yeah, no, the Adam West one is 67. No, you're right with that. I'm talking about the Scooby-Doo one.
Okay. All right, cool. I'm not losing my mind with that one.
No, you're fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Am I?
Anything else?
Nah, let's end it.
All right. 3, 2, 1. I want to thank you all for joining us for another week of BatYard's Finest. As usual, I'm Jerry from OA, guiding you all with Green Lantern's light. And over here I have...
Mateo, what's up, guys? And see you next episode.
You fucked it up.
I'm just saying a little thing. And then it goes to Josh. And it goes to Josh. It goes to Josh now.
All right, this is Josh from BatYard's Finest, sending you off up one away until next BatYard's Finest episode.
Good night, everybody. I had to throw you for a loop, Crispy.
Yeah, that's for giving me shit about asking you earlier. Okay, I'm gonna go now.